Welcome to Red Chair Chats, where we share real stories of resilience, growth, and success from the agents and leaders of Keller Williams Greater Springfield. Tawny's trying to make me drink a whole Kool-Aid.
Sorry.
That's what's happening right here.
You're sugar-free, right?
I wish. Have you tasted it? Oh, cheers again. Cheers.
Cheers. We're gonna have to do that again. My hair just went all in my mouth.
I swear she wants me to drink this whole thing. Hey, it's Rachel with Keller Williams, and on today's episode of Red Chair Chats, I have the opportunity to interview Tawny Warnow on her incredible story of overcoming obstacles and having a thriving real estate business. Tawny, thank you so much for being here today.
Me.
So let's get started. Tell me a little bit about your background and how you got into real estate.
Oh goodness. So I got into real estate kind of randomly.
Okay.
Like it was not a plan of mine. I worked at a bank prior to getting into real estate for about 7 years. And then I had watched a colleague of mine get into real estate and I kind of seen how that had changed her life.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I kind of want to do that. And I made a few phone calls and I think it was Dawn that I talked to. And then it just kind of
Transpired from there.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so have you been an individual agent before, or have you always been on a team?
I've always been on a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell me what you like being about on a real estate team.
It gives me something to look forward to every day. And the people that I work with are amazing. So it motivates you, it pushes you when you come into the office and there's that vibe.
Yeah.
And it just pushes you every day.
Yeah. I know you've been very vocal about being on your real estate team and how they've really come together and truly are like your second family.
Yes. Yeah.
And from it, I love one of the things is you are so fearless. Like you can hop on a Facebook Live and you'll shoot a video and you don't care. And it's so cool to see. And then you have thousands of views.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that like worry of people watching you on video?
Consistency and practice.
Yeah.
My first video, I remember doing my first live video and it was a mess. I was shaking. I think I almost fell down the stairs. I accidentally invited a whole bunch of people to some chat. I don't know. I got messages, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. And then I just kept doing like that. It's consistency. Just get better as you go.
I feel like you said in one of your videos when we were at Mega Camp for the Alamo Draft House, you were shooting a live video and you realized at the very end your previous employer was in the background and it was like this full circle moment for you.
Yes. I remember, I think we were on lunch break and we were sitting there and we were all outside and I just looked up. I was like, oh my gosh, my office desk was right there for years. And just to see like where I was at that time in my life was just... I never expected my life to be what it is.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about something that's really intimate and personal today. And at any point in time, you just let me know. So over the last couple of years, there's been some things going on with you and your family.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of start and tell me what's been going on?
Yeah. So my husband, Justin, passed away last summer in a car accident. But it goes a little deeper than that. We started noticing actually back in 2023 some changes in him. Yeah. Just some stuff, 10 years together is a long time.
Yeah.
So like we started seeing some things, and Justin's family has a history of Huntington's disease, which a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Which we knew was a possibility. It's a neurological disease that affects the brain and your motor skills. And
wow.
We just started noticing some things off. So we decided to get him tested, and his test results were positive. And from there, things just kind of got harder.
Yeah.
And we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
For that.
And it's a very unexpected loss, and I'm so sorry. And as I think about it, that was something that wasn't on your roadmap whenever you and him got married, and as you've been together these 10 years and then this happened. Yeah. And in this time, you also had this very large real estate business. How did you manage all of it?
Honestly, my team.
Yeah.
I would not have been able to make it through that time without them. And honestly, my whole real estate family, even other brokerages reached out and took care of us. And I remember we were at the funeral and I looked up and my whole team walked through the door and I just, wow, I knew that they had my back right then. And when I left, as soon as I got the news, of course, I had to call Sam. I had lots of active buyers. I had 2 handfuls of clients under contract and deals. You know, they're not always easy. And from like within the minute, my phone's shut off. Like Sam had shut Samantha Davis, give her all the props.
Yeah.
She shut my world off on that side of things and took control.
Yeah. Real estate is really a community. And if you think about a brokerage or even team, but you said agents from other companies are reaching out.
Yeah. Within, you know, like 24 to 48 hours, I had food delivered on our doorstep for me and my kids, gift cards. I didn't have to cook a meal. Didn't have to worry about taking care of my babies during that time when it came to that small, like what we think is a small thing. But, you know, when you're going through those kind of things, you have a lot going on and food isn't
it's not a thought you want to have to worry about.
Yeah, so our fridge was full. Kids were fed. They were taken care of. I had, you know, people reaching out if you need anything, like just people I didn't expect.
Yeah. I think that's why your story is so impactful, is you have this really successful career and then a life-changing moment happens. And you said, like, immediately your phone shut off.
Yeah.
And now you're having to navigate life, taking care of your 2 babies by yourself. And I think you do it with such grace. I've seen you, and you're just always smiling. You always have the best attitude. And I think that's such a powerful perspective that you bring. What were you telling yourself mentally in those days afterwards of like, how do I get through this?
Honestly, don't lay down. I had a huge fear that if I were to lay down, I wouldn't get back up. Honestly, my kids helped me get through that slump that I was in. They went back to school. School had just started. They were only like 2 weeks in when this all happened, and they took off a week, and they both went back, and they were thriving. And I just knew if they could do it, why can't I? Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Our kids are able to teach us so much more about ourselves that we're like, wow, we're learning from you, and I'm supposed to be the adult right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So as you went through, I'm sure you took off a lot of time. How did you know when it was the right time to start getting back into real estate?
I didn't.
You didn't take any time?
I was forced to take the time. I think it was like 2 weeks in. I was like, okay, like I need to get back. In real estate, if you don't work, like that, you're affecting your income every day that you don't work. And like that was all that was on my mind.
So that's a hard thought to have of like, if I don't work, I'm not making money. So you got back into it. What did that look like after those days?
I went back out. So I thought I was ready. Within 2 weeks, I was not. I actually ended up being out a month and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't realize how much there was to do. Lawyers, insure, like all the stuff.
Yeah.
The kids, as strong as they look on the outside.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always that. We have stuff.
And so during that whole time, it was just, I can't lay down.
Yeah, don't lay down or I won't get back up. And I refused.
That's really cool. You should be really proud of that. I mean, I can't imagine what you went through. And for you to say, I can't lay down. I have 2 kids now that are solely responsible. And tell me about like how your business is like transformed even after that.
Well, at first I was like, you know, people are going to think I'm weak. That was the fear that I had, was she's broken. She's not going to be able to help us to the best of her ability. But anybody that knows me, they'll tell you I thrive in chaos. And that's just my life motto.
Yeah.
So to be honest, like when I say this, it sounds dramatic, but real estate saved me. Getting back and getting busy kept me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know all the details. Obviously, I knew what was going on. But when you were nominated to potentially be one of our cultural ambassadors, fingers crossed you get it, you had sent me this story, and it literally sent chills through my body as I read it. And I just think so highly of you, of just how powerful you are, of like, that's a lot you have to shoulder. And for you to come back and say, I'm going to tackle this, I'm going to be the best mom for my 2 kids, and still make a really great life for them, that's so amazing.
Thank you.
You're not weak. You are so powerful, and you should tell yourself that every single day.
Thank you.
So now in your business, has anything changed? Have you had to adjust anything?
You know, so Justin was in law enforcement, so thankfully I've navigated, you know, that parent role and taking care of the home and the kids alone a lot. So I I adjusted to that pretty easily. The hardest part is just being there for the kids in ways I didn't know how to be. Making choices I didn't know were right or wrong. Learning how to give myself grace. I made a video a while back, and I looked at my production this last year, and it was very hard to look at my numbers. They were down, and I beat myself up for that for a while. And then I was like, wait a minute, grace. Like, you have to give yourself grace. Because a lot of people didn't know what was going on until my world blew up bigger than it ever will or has. I was about a year into it prior to people knowing.
I think that goes to show, as business owners, like, you have to go up and make money, but you're hiding so much of what you're actually going through. And you show up to your clients, you're smiling, you're like, everything's great, I'm happy. And really, you were navigating a lot in that year leading up to what had happened. And here you are in a span of 9 months or so, and you're producing all this. It's incredible.
Thank you.
And for you, it's like, you didn't fall. You didn't lay down.
Keep going.
Yeah. So tell me, how is your main sources of business right now? Where do you get a lot of that from? A lot of my business is repeat past clients, SOI, referrals, love on your people. They're going to love on you back, and they've taken care of me. And you've been in the business long enough that you're kind of seeing that them start to go through that life cycle again. There's had like, they've added a baby, or maybe they're downsizing. So you're able to help them through those different stages. So they're coming back to you and saying like, Tawny's my gal. Like, she's doing everything. I call her. Yeah. So what advice would you give to an agent who maybe is going through something that changes their world, and they are in real estate and they're figuring out, what do I do tomorrow? How do I get back up and do this?
Give yourself time. Give yourself grace. We are in a business where we are constantly taking care of others. Had I gone back 2 weeks after, it would have been a whole different ending. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time. Heal yourself. Slow down. It's okay to slow down and take care of yourself, and then pick up the pieces and move forward.
It sounds so simple to say, and yet in a moment, I'm sure it's so hard.
It is hard. There's a lot. And you say, like, I see you on the screen smiling and doing these live videos, but what you don't see is, the breakdowns and all the other stuff that happens. But you just got to show up every day.
Thank you for being so real and raw. I mean, I think that's the hardest part. We always talk about the shiny things. We always talk about, we helped this family do this, or we were able to hit our goals this way. And yet when we look at how the rawness of it, it's a whole other perspective.
I think it's important to share our stories and successes, but also like the hard stuff too. A lot of this last year, I've had people that have gone through similar things. So there's disease, divorce, death. And I want to be someone that they can come to for that, because I'm not judging. I understand. So that's a big goal for me this next year, is to help those types of people that are going through those hard times too.
That's powerful. What does success look like to you?
Oh gosh. Success in business or at home?
Whatever that means for you.
That my kids are happy and that they're smiling and that they're taken care of.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so rapid fire questions. What is your go-to productivity hack?
Gosh, can you be more specific?
What's the favorite system or tool you use to keep yourself organized?
Oh goodness, Samantha Davis.
I love it. What is your favorite podcast or book?
Mel Robbins.
Ooh, I love that. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh, tacos.
Tacos.
I think.
Yeah, you can never go wrong.
I don't really have a favorite. If I had to choose something, that's kind of a go-to.
Yeah. If you could travel any place in the world, where would you go?
The beach.
Anywhere on the beach. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you to Tawny for sharing her real, raw, inspiring story. And stay tuned as we talk about next episode.